Yeah, hello Siddharth. Hello.
Hi, hi Indran.
Hi Siddharth, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Welcome you to this podcast, Master of Growth. And my name is Indranil.
Okay.
Yeah. As you already know that it's a podcast. It's about the journey of different entrepreneurs, and we generally discuss about the growth and about their journeys and from where youth can get inspired as well. So
Absolutely.
I just want to know that about your journey and how did you start from zero to one, which is dream for everyone to do something by themselves. So yeah, please tell me about your
Yeah.
journey. Yeah.
Yeah. So the journey started way long back in 2009 when I was at the age of about 17, 18.
Okay.
Started off with a small retail store in Bangalore, which was more into surplus clothing. So I used to buy these factory
Mm-hmm.
leftovers around Bangalore. We had a lot of factories, garment manufacturing factories, and they had a lot of leftover stocks. So I used to buy them and sell them in retail. So that is how I started my journey. And the store started doing really well. A lot of other retailers were attracted, and they asked me to source some stocks for them as well. And that's how I got into B2B trading, where I used to source a lot more of these stocks and then supply to other retailers and keep the profits in my store. So this is what I was doing until 2011-12. 2012, something very strange happened. So while dealing with these factories, there was one particular factory who was ready to sell out the fabrics as well.
Okay.
So this was a beautiful shirt fabric, and it was worth about 25 lakhs at that time. I barely had 2 lakhs in my
Okay.
savings, but I had a customer ready for this. I mean, to buy this fabric,
Mm-hmm.
and I was making about 2.5 lakh rupees of profit also.
Okay.
So that attracted me, and I went ahead and bought that fabric. I actually borrowed that money from my friend
Okay.
and did that transaction.
Okay.
But to my bad luck, the factory had an audit there, and they couldn't dispatch the fabric for a while
Okay.
because they had an audit going on. It was about 20-25 days delayed, and then the buyer whom I had confirmed this fabric denied taking it, saying that it's too late now, I don't need the fabric. And I was stuck with that fabric. Barely had a place to keep it, and I had to pay back the money also from whom I had borrowed. And that's when I made these small swatches of this fabric and distributed in my network.
Okay.
And there was one particular retailer in Bombay who was interested, and he looked at the fabric and he called me and he was like, "Can you make shirts?" And I was stunned because it was a very different industry, and I was never into production. Didn't
Okay.
know anything about production at all.
Okay.
But then I was stuck, so I had to bail myself out. And he was like, "Could you make about 200-300 pieces as samples, and then let's see." So I hustled around factories in Bangalore. The bigger
Mm-hmm.
ones were not ready to do a small MOQ. Found a very small unit, sat
Mm-hmm.
there for about 3-4 weeks, understood the whole process of manufacturing
Mm-hmm.
and what are the SOPs to be followed, etc. Designed those shirts myself, and then did that sample order of 200-300 pieces and sent them out to Bombay.
Okay.
Over the weekend, the shirts flew off his counter, and he called me up and he was like, convert everything into garments. And that is how the journey of production started.
Okay.
I converted all of that fabric into shirts. Ended up making about 6.5-7 lakh rupees,
Okay.
where I was making just 2 lakh rupees while selling the fabric. That's when I understood that production is a larger game. And since 2012, from 2012 until 2019, this is what I was doing. Um making anything and everything in the woven space. I've done productions for the likes of Arvind, Madhura,
Okay.
Wrong, Landmark Group, and was more concentrating on multiple retail store brands who had about 20, 25 stores, but they wanted something or the other made on their own labels as well. So that was
Exactly. Exactly.
our expertise.
Exactly.
Scale that business to about 50, 60 crores revenue.
Okay.
But yeah, while doing this, I observed a huge gap in the market. So conventionally, or typically, how these brands used to function were, they had two seasons, summer and winter, or a few had four, like summer, spring, summer, winter, autumn, winter. There was no one who was delivering fashion on a daily basis.
Exactly. Exactly. What we.
A lot of European and Chinese brands, a lot of European and Chinese brands were doing that, but there was no one in India who was delivering fashion on a daily basis, getting global trends. As soon as possible, and delivering fashion on a daily basis was not there, and that was the idea. For me to start off with Snitch. Again, started off more like a B2B brand, wherein we used to make products on the label Snitch and distributed into retailers across India. The brand started doing really well, and we got tremendous response from retailers across India. So again, with the pandemic hit us in
Exactly.
2020,
Exactly. Exactly.
we were left with a huge inventory.
Exactly.
We were left with a huge inventory, and the first idea that came to my mind was, maybe go online on a Myntra or a Najio and try and liquidate the stocks there.
Yeah.
But then realized we wouldn't be making any money there, nor would the brand get any recognition. That is when we decided to, start off our own website. So July 2020, we launched snitch.co.in. We were a team of 4 people. Barely had about 35 products on the website. But then since then, it's been a roller coaster ride. From adding new products every day since our inception, getting deeper into categories. Today we ship almost about 1,700 orders through our own website on a daily basis.
Okay. And that's purely organic customer you're getting directly from the
yeah, it
website.
is obviously
Yeah.
it is via paid marketing,
Exactly.
performance marketing, organic. We launched our app just about 4 months back. We
Okay,
have over
okay,
3.5 lakh downloads
Okay.
already.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
So let me ask you one thing. So as you have been through different sort of journeys, and you have faced challenges as well. So when I talk about challenges, so what kind of challenges did you face? You had to deliver products, and you said at the first place that you never dealt with product. So when you face this kind of challenges, how did you face, and what kind of challenges did you face, if I ask you?
I've been facing challenges ever since I've started. So first of all, got into retail. So from retail to trading was a major challenge.
Major challenge, yeah.
Transforming myself, and from there on to production again was a very different challenge because I never knew the whole process of apparel manufacturing,
Exactly.
especially the kind of blends and fabrics that you have, and what kind of machinery is required, what kind of thread, what kind of interlining to be used. And yeah, I mean, it was a very different transition, and finally entering a D2C space from manufacturing was a complete opposite flip for me. But then found the right people, managed to build a beautiful team of about 80 plus people
Oh,
today.
that's really good.
And yeah, we've been transforming ourselves.
Exactly. Exactly. So, Siddharth. So, another thing. So, you said that when you had a one kind of challenge that you have to deliver a particular product to Mumbai, so you took help of your friend. So here, what my question
Absolutely.
comes again. So there is a traditional way of getting funding, what we call bootstrapping, and getting fund from different
Correct.
ventures. So what do you prefer? The old bootstrap way, or the the funding way? Let's say like that way. So, and what are the advantages
So
you feel?
I've always, yeah, I've always believed that equity is the most expensive thing that you can give
Okay,
out.
exactly.
So as much as you can, you need to do your jugaad and
Yeah,
find ways
exactly.
to get your cash flows right.
Okay,
And I believe that bootstrapping yourself, at least in the initial phases of your career, helps you get mentally strong in better directions in terms of decision making, in
exactly.
terms of your cash flows. You would be more accurate and more you'll be more sure of what decisions are you making. And it is very simple. I mean, it is risk versus reward. So
Exactly,
it
exactly.
depends on the kind of risk that you want to take, against
As
what kind of rewards you would get for it.
as you were saying that you have started from a very early age again. Even I started
Absolutely, yeah.
working from a very young age, and there are many people like my brother as well. He's in college right now, and there are many
Yeah,
youngsters who wants to do something, and maybe there will be lots and lots of entrepreneurs from India itself who will be like
absolutely.
billionaires and millionaires, I believe, and we can definitely transform India, through our youth itself. So,
Absolutely.
at that age, in 16, 17, when you're in your 16, in your 20s, getting funding is a very 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 tough job, because you had to and you have to
Absolutely.
focus on your career as well. On You have to be strong through your you have to have a very good knowledge as well. So beside that, you want to do something good, which will at the end of the
Correct.
day, that will bring impact in the society as well. So
Absolutely.
that's the thing where. So coming back to my question, so you said you started from a very young age. So how do you find your initial team, and how do you scale them? And right now you said that you are 80 plus members right now. So how did you find
Yeah,
your
yeah.
initial team, who you can trust, who through which through them you can build a strong team? Right now you have 80 plus team members. So how do you scale them? How did
Yeah,
you
yeah,
find your initial
absolutely.
team? If I ask you.
Absolutely. So when I started the retail store, I was barely alone. So I used to be in a morning college shift, and which used to get over by 12:30. Post which I used to come at the store and open it,
Okay.
and stay there till about 8:30, and then wind up the store and then leave. Then slowly the store started doing well, so I hired a couple of people to manage the store, and that's how I started building the team there back then, in 2009-10. And yeah, when we started Snitch, so it was during the pandemic that the
Yeah,
idea of
yeah,
snitch.co.in was born.
exactly.
And so when I decided this, I had a very old friend of mine whose younger brother was working in an advertising agency.
Okay.
And the first thought for me was, to hire him, because I didn't know anything about marketing at all. And he had barely some knowledge about marketing because he was working with an advertising agency.
Okay.
So I just called him up, and I discussed this idea. And the next day I got a call saying that, hey, I'm in. Let's do this. And that's how his name is Chetan. So he's our CMO currently.
Okay.
And the second wing was again another classmate of mine. His elder brother
Okay.
was looking for a change in his job. He was working in an e-commerce company, which was in a similar space. And today he takes care of our support and
Okay.
HR and finance.
Okay.
And thirdly, then there's Praveen again, who's a ops guy. So he was working with a CCTV company, and he came in as a data entry guy. Today he handles our operations and warehousing, which is a 30,000 square foot big warehouse, which is
Okay.
highly automated,
Okay.
as well as managing over 30 staff there. So it was a very gradual process, and under each we started building our own teams. And we don't interfere with each other's role. The decisions are made collectively, but yeah, we don't interfere in each other's work or the kind of process that they want to follow.
Okay.
And I think that is very important to have the right communication as well as the space that is required. I mean, initially when we started off, I remember it was a small cabin space where we used to cheer for every order that we
Okay.
got,
Okay.
and we used to do the packing ourselves. We
Okay.
barely had two racks in the corner of our office that had the stocks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really inspiring. Many people can correlate to this as well when they had their first office where they had their brainstorming done over there again. So yeah. So coming back to my next question. So what if I ask you directly that what is the vision of your snitch if I ask you, and how do you add more and more customers daily? What are your marketing plans and all if I ask you?
Yeah, so like I said, the vision is very clear. We want to be the number one, fast fashion brand in India. We have just started. It's been about 20 months. We've been doing a lot of different strategies in terms of marketing. We've done a couple of celebrity campaigns. We believe a lot in the influencer space. We do a lot of influencer marketing. Our word of mouth has been phenomenal. I mean, our organic traffic has increased by 30 to 35% over the last one quarter.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, in terms of future plans, we look to open at least 8 to 10 digital experience stores across India,
Okay.
which would be more tech-driven stores, smaller in size, where our bestsellers and core products would be available. But majority of the products would be sold online. The traffic would be driven online through the store.
So you are targeting any particular geographical location in India, or you are want to cover all over India from different parts, let's say north, south, east, west?
No, absolutely. We are going to cover across India, but through the data that we have,
Okay.
through the kind of data that we already have of about 10 lakh plus people, which part of the country is performing well for us. So we would start off with that. And these stores are more towards getting closer to the consumer. And not towards selling a lot of products. It is more towards branding, because apparel is always going to be a touch and feel industry. And the idea behind starting these stores is, to get closer to our consumers. It is more towards getting a brand recall. It is more towards, bringing loyalty towards our customers and making that entire bond. Yeah.
Exactly, which is again very much necessary at the end of the day, because
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, because trust is a very big thing, right? And it can be easily broken. So I remember, when we started off, we used to be on our social media platform almost 24 by 7, all of us, for that matter. We used to reply to social media, the messages, comments, like even if it is at 1 in the morning or 6 in the morning, there used to be someone who was replying consumers, because the kind of frauds that happen via social media makes consumers not believe in new brands.
Exactly.
And hence we had to work really hard on building that trust. And I hope we've been a little successful there and been building that day in and day out.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so that so my next question would be, so we generally everyone we are talking about D2C market. Okay, so what do you think about D2C? For let's say let me ask you, for new startups, how do you think D2C as a market?
I believe India has got a huge potential, at least for the next decade, and this is the best time to start D2C if anyone is looking to start their own brand. And I've always been a strong strong believer in building your own website first and then going towards, marketplace and other D2C channels. What this does is it gives you a lot of insights because all the data is yours. You don't get customer data or customer insights when you're selling on marketplaces. And what this does is, especially for us, since we have over 1 million, customer data currently, it helps us understand the pattern of a customer. It helps us in our decision making, and it also helps you believe in yourself. And whenever you see a good review, all these things would actually help you move forward. And I truly believe that the next decade is towards D2C brands.
Okay. Exactly. And so, any message for the new startups?
Yeah, I mean, it is very important to follow your guts, and don't get carried away with what others are doing. Just follow your instincts, back yourself, and build it slowly. A lot of people get confused and they keep changing tracks. Which is why a lot of startups fail.
Exactly.
I think sticking onto one path and believing yourself and backing yourself and your team members definitely would get you success.
Okay. That's perfect. So coming, let's say my next question is it's a different kind of question, I'd say. So people always talk about their success again. Okay. So no one talks about their failure, and everyone has their own failure story. Okay. So I believe, and failure is something from where we can learn, and I can make other people as well, for other say like the youngsters who are following that same roads again. And so what would be your failure story from where you get motivated again, and you just want to send a message to the next generation, let's say, the all the startups who wants to who wants to grow and who wants to be that particular entrepreneur again. So what would be that story, and what would be your message?
I strongly believe that without failure, no one can get successful.
Okay.
So it is as simple as that. You would fail almost every third day, and then come back stronger the fourth day.
Exactly.
I've had a number of failures. A lot of products that we've made have gone wrong. A lot of decisions that we've taken have gone wrong. But then you'll have to come back stronger. Take it positively. Take the learnings from those mistakes.
Is there any particular story or anything which we can share with the audience again?
Yeah, I mean, since 2009, so the first transaction that I did, which I mentioned earlier about the fabric, that I bought, I was shocked for 15 days because I had to pay back the money which I had borrowed from my friend, and you wouldn't believe I've never returned that money till date.
Okay.
And I've told him that you take anything else, I'm not. Whenever I've returned that money, I've made a loss.
Okay.
So I've returned that money twice to him, and I burnt my hands both the times. So I was like, I'm not going to return you back this money. Whatever you want instead of this, you let me know whenever you want it in your life. So, even then, I was stuck for almost 10, 15 days, and the pressure, I mean, I was just 16, 17, right? And it was huge money at that time, 25 lakhs. I had about 7, 8 lakhs in my savings. I had borrowed some money from my dad, from my friends, and I had to pay back all of that. But then, never lost hope. Kept doing different things. I went to vendors across to sell the fabric first. Didn't get any response. Then I made these small swatches and then distributed, and that's how I got another, entire vertical of production. So a lot of incidences like this that has, helped me actually push myself forward. Even when I started off with Snitch, so I had a partner when I started Snitch, with whom I had started, the entire concept and the entire story behind Snitch was, our collective thing. But then even he wasn't too confident, and within 6 months he left. And again, I was stuck at decision making, at everything. I was all alone. But then slowly again built, a new team. And I mean, there are a number of instances that I could share, but I strongly believe that the kind of learnings that you find from every mistake would help
Exactly.
you,
Exactly.
take larger steps ahead.
Exactly. 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 Yeah, so I really believe that, and I hope that you should, your brand, what is your dream again about this brand to be the number one in India itself, and let's say around the world. So I pray for that, and I really hope that
Thank
you
you
do
so
it.
much, Indranil.
And I believe that from your story, many youngsters, many entrepreneurs who wants to be someone or something in future, they gets motivated from your story. So yes, and let me
Absolutely.
ask you another normal, let's say a personal question, which
Yeah.
everyone would like. So what would be your pastime? Let's say when you want to be alone and gets motivated and come back to your work again in the morning, or let's say how do you do it? How do you do it?
So it is more towards spending a lot of time with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you do that, and you ask yourself a lot of questions, your mind would answer them correctly, rather than asking others, and rather than hustling around.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing that I do is spend at least 40 to 50 minutes with myself, ask myself what did I do today and what am I going to do tomorrow. And every question that I have, I ask myself, and search for answers, for them. And apart from that, yeah, obviously, I mean, I love cycling. I do
Okay.
swimming a lot. I mean, I spend quite some time in the gym. Yeah,
You are a sports person then. Yeah.
yeah. I used to be a lot, but
Okay.
now, yeah, off lately, I've stopped due to the
Okay.
pressure at work. But then, yeah,
Exactly.
I somehow
Happens.
manage some time, at least 4 times a week.
Okay. Definitely, definitely. Your health should always be in a sync when you are, want to be an
Yes,
entrepreneur, I
absolutely,
believe.
absolutely,
I believe
absolutely,
that.
absolutely.
Definitely, definitely. Sure. So yes, my end question would be like that same thing as because you're talking about the master of growth, and so
Yeah.
what would be the the most effective marketing? So let's say what would be the most effective marketing plan for you, for your company itself? Again, from for you as well, if you ask.
Yeah, see, there are two things here. One is you want to build a brand, and second is you want to sell products. So
Mm-hmm.
these are two very different verticals. If you want to be a brand, then your communication needs to be prompt. Your story needs to be delivered to the consumers. You
Mm-hmm.
need to connect to your consumers. Um, in terms of customer experience, let it be about customer service, let it be the product. You need to focus on every part, because there are millions of brands who are selling products, and they wouldn't even remember the brand that they bought. Today you go to a H&M or a Zara and buy a t-shirt or a denim.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you do that? I mean, it's not that other brands are not making them, or you wouldn't get something similar at other brands, or
Mm-hmm.
at other markets. You may get it half the price. But you go there because it's a brand.
Exactly.
So creating brand is an entirely different ball game. I strongly believe that people need to invest in marketing, and I also believe that marketing is an investment and not a liability. So whenever you invest in marketing, you will get those returns. Not today, not tomorrow, but yeah, very very soon you would start seeing a lot of positive
Positive
response.
response. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Siddharth, it was really, really like very good conversation with you. Even I get to know many things, and I'm sure that many, many people who are actually will be listening to this particular podcast will definitely get motivated and I hope many youngsters would rather, who are right now in their 16s in their 20s, who are similar, going through that similar journey what you have been through. So they really, I hope that they really get motivated from your whatever you said and whatever you have been through. So they get something from there, and they should imply that in their particular journey. Yeah, definitely the story is different, but I believe the road are always same, right? So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I, it was very very nice talking to you, and yeah,
Thanks, and
yeah,
the same here. Thank you for having me on the show.
sure, same here. Okay, so take care, bye bye.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Bye.
thank you, bye bye.